Hey guys, what's going on? It's your girl Roxy here. Welcome. So today I have a camera on because I look okay. I look okay. I think my video is a little choppy right now. So I'm just waiting for you guys to get in the room here to say hello to me and to know that we are all good and that you guys can hear me. Can you guys see me? Can you hear me? What's going on? Just say hello in the video here. I don't know, it looks like my video is a little choppy. If it is, let me know. And what I can do is get this out of this mode and at least go into my other cast mode so that way you guys don't have so much of a choppy video because I hate choppy videos. Anyway, guys, hey there. How y'all doing today? I hope that you guys are well. Today's class is all about dieting, diet tips for vegetarian lifters. And I'm super excited to talk about today's class, because I think there are a lot of you out there who are vegetarians who are looking to do things better, who are looking to do things smarter, and that you really want to raise the bar when it comes to what you're able to do in the gym and how to navigate around your nutrition. And I get a lot of questions from vegetarians all the time who have concerns, particularly when it comes to contest prep. And when it comes to just doing what they have to do to see the results that they want to see. So before we get things up and started today, I want to make sure that we have everybody here in the room. So just let me know if you hear my audio okay. Let me know if everything is all right. I took the camera off for right now simply because I don't want the choppiness with the video. I'm not sure what's going on with my connection today. It's a little bit weird. But I think that we're all good and we're going to rock and roll. So welcome you guys to today's class. I'm always so excited when you guys join me. It gives me nothing but great pleasure to just be able to share my knowledge. So the fact that you guys come on in and you're here and you're just ready to receive means a lot to me. So if this is your first time here with me today, please take a moment right now to subscribe to my channel. Subscribe right now and click the bell notification so that way you don't miss a single video when I put them out. And then for those of you that are that have been following me for a while, thank you so much. You know that I love it when you guys come by and you are super supportive. Today, you guys, I do have a few announcements, so make sure that you stick around to the end of the video and give this video a thumbs up as well. If you like this topic, if you like what I'm sharing with you and you feel like it's really super helpful, it would really feel great to me if you can, make sure that you give me a thumbs up so that way YouTube distributes this to people that want to see it, that want to learn. So I'm going to go ahead and kick out of this for a moment and get us into our next screen, which will be our presentation. So just give me 1 second. There we go. So diet tips for vegetarian and vegan lifters. I'm going to go right in. You guys know I like to start right away. Make sure you have a pen, something to write with, take some notes. This one you're probably going to want to watch back because I'm going over a lot of stuff today. A lot of stuff. We're going to be jam-packed. So hold on for the ride. This is going to be about a 45 to 60 minute class tonight. So today's agenda, I want to help vegans and vegetarian female lifters, specifically female lifters, to have a better grasp on what they can do to best navigate their diet while getting great results in the gym. I want to demystify common myths and questions around meatless meal planning. For instance, do you have to eat eggs and fish or dairy or any of that stuff to have a balanced plan? So many of you run into coaches who make you eat, meatless stuff and come off of the way that you want to live just to be able to get to a goal. I want to demystify some of that stuff for you. And I want to give you some actionable tools that you can apply right now to get on track with a plant-based diet geared towards athletic women. So this is going to be the perfect video for those of you who are newly starting on a vegetarian or vegan plan, or if you've already been following that lifestyle, but you're really trying to get your diet down with some real, tips and tools and all that stuff to make it all work. This is definitely going to be for you. Competitor, non-competitor, doesn't matter. We're here to strengthen your knowledge around your nutrition. So as I said, I have a couple of things I want to tell you before we begin today's class. I got the bills to pay and I got some great free offers. So let's talk about the one that I want to present for you today. For those of you that are in contest prep right now, or you're thinking about going into prep, or you're thinking about working with me as your coach, come on by and download my contest prep crash course. Guys, it's totally free, jam-packed ebook. I think it's about like 80 something pages of just my knowledge poured into this ebook to tell you how to do this stuff and do it better. Everything that you need to know before you consider your next show. Diet, training, mindset, you name it, you list it, I got it there for you. rockstarfitness.com/CPCC, as in contest prep crash course. Go ahead and get your download totally free. Enter your email and you'll get onto my email list too, where I'll send you some extra content that's going to help you to figure out this whole like bodybuilding competing game. And it's good for all divisions as well. So make sure you check that out. The next thing I want to say is, while you were listening to today's video, I am actually currently taking on new rock stars, competitor, non-competitor alike. Prep, no prep, doesn't matter. I'm looking to take on, I have about a space for about 5 to 6 new clients over the next month or so to join me and to work closely with me. Now, ladies, here's the thing. I have programs for various budgets, various needs and levels and stuff. So all you really have to do is set up an appointment to come talk to me, rockstarfitness.com/clarity-call. And we'll just talk about what your needs are, some of the things that you want to work on, what it is that's been holding you back, and to see if I have a program that is perfect for you. And I'll only take you on if I feel like we are a match to work together and that you feel that way too. So come on out and reach out to me at the end of today's video, rockstarfitness.com/clarity-call, and we're going to rock and roll. So that's it for our announcements today, guys. Let's jump into today's class, diet tips for vegetarian lifters. So there are a couple of things that I want to just start off right off the bat saying to you when it comes to this whole thing about dieting for vegetarians and vegans. And the first thing is that your diet needs are no different than anyone else. So the same rules apply to you as any other lifter out there in this game. So you want to make sure that you're getting adequate protein to preserve muscle during fat loss, or to build when you're looking to lean build, so that you're getting adequate protein to be able to do that. You want to be able in the gym to lift heavy, and you also want to make sure that you are recovering intelligently. So taking rest days, scheduling training breaks and diet breaks, really important. I talk about a lot of that on my channel already. Next thing that you want to do as a vegan or vegetarian that's the same as everybody else, you want to make sure that you supplement your diet to cover all of your bases for potential missing macros and micronutrients, okay? So if you think about that just right off the bat, no matter if you're transitioning into this lifestyle newly or you've been on it for a while, if you make sure that you cover those 3 basics, you're going to be on the right track. Now, let's go ahead and now talk about specifically with the diet and how it pertains to your goals and what it is that you want to achieve. So the first thing that you need to do in any of this stuff is to figure out the proper amount of calories and macros that you need to be eating in order to achieve your goals. So if you're attempting to lose fat, then you need to eat in a caloric deficit. If you're attempting to gain muscle, then you need to be eating in a caloric surplus. So diet and the format of what you need is all going to be based on your goals, okay? So I talked about caloric surpluses. I've talked about how to find your deficit in so many videos already. So you guys can go back and kind of look through my channel, especially on my Coaches Corner playlist, where I talk about nutrition and finding your calories and all that stuff. And you know what? At the end of the video, in a couple of days, I'll put up some links for some of that stuff for you guys to review if you don't know how to find your calories. But the first thing you need to do is that, okay? So depending on how you want to set up your diet, this is where things can get a little bit tricky though when it comes to your macros. So once you find your calories, you're good, but we gotta look for the macros as well. And for vegetarians and vegans, that's where things get a little bit murky and it's a little bit different than what you may be used to. But the good thing is that it's not too different. So what you'll find though is as a vegan or a vegetarian, that on your diet, that you'll have a harder time usually trying to reach higher amounts of protein if you are not open to the kinds of proteins that that you're willing to eat. As far as I have had some people that they don't want to eat soy, they don't want to eat this, they don't want to eat that. So it depends on what you're willing to eat. that's going to make your diet either hard to do or it's going to make it easy to do. Now, I write diets all the time for competitors and for non-competitors alike in this lifestyle. You guys, it's possible to have a successful diet in this lifestyle. So don't let anybody tell you that you can't, but you need to start opening yourself up to other possibilities. Learn how to cook your foods, learn how to season it, and make it taste good for you. Once you do that, you're golden, okay? And if you keep variety in your plan, reaching these numbers and the things that you need with macros and calories, by the way, is going to be super duper easy. All right. So one of the things I do want to point out though in this whole process, and by the way, as I'm talking, if questions come up, make sure that you type them into the comment box there, because I will go back at the end and look at your questions and answer them at the very end. I'm not going to look right now because I don't want to change my screen and get it all messed up. So any questions that you have, make sure that you do type them in the comments and I'll come back around. Now, you might find yourself having higher amounts of carbohydrates in your diets when we're talking about macros when you first start out on your plant-based diet, just because with the lowered amount of meats in your diet and usually dairy and stuff like that, you can sometimes find it a little bit harder to get that protein in, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to give you a little formula that you can use when it comes to finding your macros specifically with your vegetarian or vegan diet. So as I just said to you a moment ago, the first thing that you want to do is decipher, like, do I want to lose weight? Do I want to maintain my weight? Or do I want to gain muscle? And depending on where you decide that you need to be, you need to use the proper equations for your diet to figure out calorically. Now, once you find your calories, it's time to go ahead and find your macros. So here's one of the things. I'm going to give you two formulas that I want you. Is it formulas or is it formulae? I don't really know, but we'll go with that. Two formulas. I think it's formulae. I'm not sure. Two formulas that you can use to go ahead and figure out your macros. Write this down. Okay, so the first thing that I want to tell you to do is, in general, I really think a good starting point for a lot of diets, whether it's your meat-based diet or your vegetarian or vegan diet, like if you're just going to start off with something truly basic, find your calories. And then you can do something like a 40-30-30 approach, okay? 40% of your diet from protein, 30% from carbs, 30% from fat. Real simple. So if you were to take, let's say if you decided that 1,500 calories is where you needed to be, 40% of that needs to be coming from your protein, 30% of that needs to come from fat, and the other 30 from carbohydrates. And there's a lot of ways that you can break that down and create a meal plan based off of that, which is pretty balanced, okay? Now, there's a little bit of a more advanced version that I'll go ahead and suggest to you when it comes to figuring out your macros for your vegetarian or vegan diet. Again, based off of what it is that you want to do. Find your calories first. You guys, a lot of people go crazy, like, should I go low carb, high carb, carb cycle, keto, paleo, all these crazy things. At the end of the day, what's going to drive your diet and your results are your calories, how much you are eating every single day, how much you're not eating every single day, and whether or not you're actually eating what you think you say you're eating. So you got to make sure to track your diet. So calories are going to be first. And then secondarily, that's where macros come in. A lot of people emphasize macros as a thing, but at the end of the day, physiology and thermodynamics will never change. Calories in, calories out, point blank. The rest of it, set it up as what works for you. So even when I give you 40-30-30, look, put it into play and see how your body does with that. You know, you don't have to stay there. You can adjust it. Maybe you find that 40% protein is a lot for you, so you might go down to 30% with that and up your carbs to 40%. Maybe that's too many carbs on your diet. You want to go a little bit lower carb. So you can up the fats then to 40% and lower the calories, the carbohydrates to 30%. So you can play around with things, but these are just to help you to get started and have a base. Okay, so now that you have that simple equation, I want to give you something a little bit more advanced. Okay, so for my advanced people out there that love math and calculations and all this other precise stuff, now you can try this approach, which is having 0.8 to 1, okay, times your body weight for your grams of protein per day. So 0.8 times or 1, okay, times your body weight will equal the amount of protein that you're going to have per day in grams. So if you're 150 pounds, that would be about roughly 150 grams of protein per day or below, depending on what you use. The next thing that you can do is have around 0.3 times your body weight will give you the amount of fat that you're going to have per day. And whatever is left over, the rest of that would be your carbs. All right, so that's an advanced equation. If you don't know how to figure that out, don't use that, please, okay? Because that's I'm not going to go into how to multiply it and then divide it by this and da 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 da. We ain't got time for that, okay? But I do have a course where you can learn that. So if you want to learn about nutrition and how to create your own meal planning, I have a course called Meal Planning 101. Get on a call with Roxy and I can get you enrolled in that. Yes, yes, woo! So anyway, guys, so if you're going ahead with that more advanced equation, let me say it again for you so you understand. So you have the 40-30-30, okay? 40% protein, 30% carbs and fats as the easy equation. Or you can figure out your macros with 0.8 or 0.1 times your body weight. That gives you the amount of protein in grams per day. Set that aside. You can take 0.3 times your body weight in pounds, by the way, in pounds. That'll be how much fat you have per day. Whatever number is left over calorically, divide that up by 4. Boom, that's going to tell you how many grams of carbohydrates per day. Really simple equation to get started. Tweak it as you need to and how your body responds, okay? So now, what you might find for some of you guys, depending on how you go about meal planning, for some of you, these numbers might seem like it's a little bit low, particularly when it comes to protein. But the truth of the matter is that true requirements for protein in the body is only about one gram per pound. You know what I mean? So many of you are eating like 1.5 grams per pound, 2 grams per pound, and it's like, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. So I want you to realize that most of the fitness industry touts that the requirement for protein is super, super duper high. That's what you've learned. And it's well beyond what the body actually needs. You know, so be open to trying something a little bit new and different, particularly because as a vegetarian, again, reaching these amounts of protein in your diet is going to be super hard. That's why some of you guys are like super failing at it, because you're seeing that I can't even meet the amount that I'm supposed to eat. So how can I do this? Lower it down to something that's more realistic and boom, it's going to start falling into place. Trust me about this. And the thing about it, guys, is that I always feel that science and not bro science rules the roost. You know what I mean? Science and not bro science rules the roost. So be willing to be open to trying something new and just see how your body does with it, because the only absolute is that there are no absolutes. So you can always adjust after you see how your body is responding. Okay. Now, the one thing that I'll say, and we're going to switch gears in about the next 2 seconds or so, and take a look specifically at types of protein that you should be eating on vegetarian and vegan plans. And I'm spending a lot of time on protein because I know the reason why you got on this class today was to figure out how the heck are you supposed to meet those numbers, because all of a sudden it's harder for you. That's the complaint I hear a lot. But what I will say to you guys is that not only do you want to make sure that you're getting in the right amounts and stuff like that, but you want to make sure that you're getting quality protein in as well. You want to get in quality. And for a lot of vegan and vegetarians, the one amino acid that's really missing is leucine. Okay, and I'm going to talk about how to supplement that in when we talk about supplements and vitamins and micronutrients in a bit. But quality protein is really, really important. Allowing yourself to experiment with different things, taste things that you've never had before, opening up your palate, and, you know, collecting recipes and learning how to cook is really, really, really crucial. And I'm saying that to my newbie plant-based followers, because a lot of y'all just think that, oh, I'm going to stop eating meat and eat nothing but vegetables and whatever the heck you think you're going to eat and call it a day. You're going to shoot yourself in the foot. Okay. So I just went through a lot of stuff. Oh my God, there was so much stuff. If you have questions, please just type them into the thingy thing here. Type them into the comment box so I can see them. I'll answer them at the end. Once again, if you have any. take a moment. If you have not thumbs up this video, let's go, guys. Thumbs up this video, share it, so that way YouTube will share it to people who need to see it. And we start getting some real scientific, science-supported, evidence-driven content out there in the fitness sphere. Because let me tell you guys, there's so much bunky junk out there. It's just so crazy. And, you know, my passion is sharing my knowledge. I've been at this for 22 years now. It's been so long that I've been a personal trainer and a fitness professional. So if you feel like this stuff is helping you, help others by thumbs upping, you know what I mean, and sharing this with others. So now that I told you how to find your macros and I gave you an overview of, you know, what to consider calorically, we want to start putting this diet together in a way that makes sense. Okay, so I want to shift more focus to the types of protein that you can use to meet the requirements of your diet. So in general, I like clients to actually stay away from having really highly processed foods when it comes to their meal planning and setup of that, okay? But I feel for many vegetarian and vegan diets, when you're in a place where you're trying to change your body, that you might have to resort to things like meatless type of meat options to help to just boost the, to make sure that you're getting adequate amounts, okay? The one thing that I do want to say with these products, and you've seen them before, like the meatless chicken strips and all that other, you know, stuff, just be careful of digesting too much soy. Now, personally, like, I feel like my body is fine with it. I haven't had a lot of negative effects with it. I used to be a vegetarian at one point in my life. Then I ate a burger and that was done. But I still like to do meatless days, and I'll cook meatless from time to time. So I'm always up on the foods that are out there now. And they have a lot of products out there now that are based on different kinds of plant-based proteins. So do your research. Soy products are not the only thing that's out there. Some of you are sensitive to soy. The thing about soy too, for a lot of us that you have to pay attention to, is that soy is a phytoestrogen. So it's a plant-based estrogen. So it can and might, over the long term, have some effects on the body if you're constantly eating that in your diet. Now, they say that unfermented soy is like the thing that causes the most problems. Fermented soy doesn't necessarily do that. But in either case, it is going to be a part of your diet as a lifter. Just be mindful about how your body digests it. And if you put the things that I'm telling you into play, that I'm talking about today, you won't have to rely on that as your only source. So I wanted to put that out there before talking about products, okay? So it's not necessary, you know, going back to, this is another thing I have written down here. I had said earlier, I have a lot of folks that come to me when they're talking about the types of proteins that they can eat, that they've worked with coaches that have said that you cannot prep for a show, or if you're not prepping a show, you cannot lose weight or lose fat or get lean unless you are willing to eat fish, eggs, or dairy, okay? And I want to say that is categorically false, 100% false. So if you're out there and you are following a vegan or vegetarian lifestyle for your own ethics, or because it's something that you just want to do, it just makes you feel better, you don't want to eat meat or whatever, or fish or dairy or any of that stuff, honey, you don't have to. It's not necessary for you to eat eggs or fish if you don't want to. Now, I will say that, of course, having a more ovo-lacto approach, for those of you that are, you know, there are different kinds of, you know, I don't even think of this as vegetarian, but it falls under the category ovo-lacto. You have pescatarians and all the other stuff. If you follow those kinds of approaches, yeah, it'll make things a bit easier when it comes to actually meeting your protein requirements. But if you're someone who doesn't want to do that, you're totally fine. Now, for those that want to, let's say you're ovo-lacto, what I would say for you is that there is some benefits to definitely adding things like egg whites or yogurt or so, especially like stuff like Greek yogurt and all that stuff, cottage cheese if you want to eat that. These are really great sources of protein, which you can actually have during the day in addition to your plant-based proteins, to kind of just balance things up. And you don't even have to eat them in abundance. You know, you don't have to get up every morning and eat 6 egg whites. You can eat like 1 or 2 and still meet your numbers. You can have some Greek yogurt, some cottage cheese, like I said, round things off with some tempeh, seitan, and all that stuff, you know, and boom, you're able to meet your requirements. So for those of you that are open to that, it's going to make your life easier. So that's something for you to consider. Nowadays, they also have like coconut and almond based yogurts that have a good amount of protein in them. So for those of you that don't want to open yourself up to dairy, that presents another opportunity for you to take in foods that taste good, foods that are filling, foods that'll help you to meet your requirements without resorting to those dairy products. So those are two things that I want to put out there for some of you that might be okay to an alternative vegetarian or meatless lifestyle, okay? Now, let's switch focus to actual sources for those who are strictly vegan and vegetarian, all right? Because there's a lot of stuff out there, and I mentioned some of them. Some of my favorites, tofu, okay? It comes in all kinds of textures and stuff like that that you can really get into and make and get good recipes for. I love tofu, and I used to hate it, honey. You marinate that baby in some for me, because I eat meat, like I'll marinate it in a little bouillon, like chicken bouillon flavor or some beef bouillon. And they even have, guys, they have vegan and vegetarian, I think it's vegan. It's vegan beef bouillon flavor. And they also have a vegan chicken bouillon flavor. You can get it on Amazon. I've seen it. I forgot the brand. Just look it up. Okay? And it gives that flavor without the meat. They use a bunch of like seasonings and spices, and it's really highly rated. So you can marinate your stuff, honey, and make it taste good. This stuff does not have to be nasty. Okay, so tofu, seitan, really, really good. I love seitan. It's, oh my God, I love it. It's got that meaty texture to it. And honey, like I said, you season that baby up. You put some bouillon up on it, honey. Ooh, Lord, child, I don't know what y'all talking about. It's good. Okay. Tempeh, it's another thing. The chickenless strips, now we're getting to a little bit more processed stuff. Chickenless strips, the ground meatless crumbles. You have veggie patties and burgers, just to name a few things. One of the things that I'm crazy about right now, I don't know if you've had it before, and I don't like promoting brands because, honey, nobody's lining my pockets and helping me out over here to endorse anybody. Okay, so I don't really like naming brands, but I will say Beyond Beef is the name of the brand. They have I believe it is pea-based protein, so it's not soy or anything like that. I think their products are completely soy-free. They have the patties. If you've seen them in the grocery store, they have the patties, but now they have the 16-ounce block of minced meatless beef, and it looks like hamburger meat, and it's marbleized too. Oh, child. Look, y'all better get on it. It looks good. I have not gotten there yet to get it. It's at Whole Foods. But little things like that, you guys, can really like make your meals hearty and good and yummy. Okay, so you don't have to be out there trying to eat just I don't know what the heck you're trying to eat when you're first trying to become vegetarian. You don't know what to eat. Do your research, okay? But if you don't want to include so many of those meaty kind of things in your diet, then guess what? You can also look at having legumes, okay, and rice, combining them together to have complete proteins as well on the diet. Now, is it as complete as eating a slab of beef? No, but that's why we're going to talk about the importance of supplementation in a bit, okay? But anything that you can do to keep your numbers up is what you need to do. Now, if you're going to combine, food combine, like legumes with rice or whatever, of course, this is going to up your carbohydrates. So if you're trying to do low carb, it may not typically work, but if you stay in a caloric deficit, in a true deficit, you're still going to see your body change and do what it has to do. Okay, so now when we talk about food combining to create, proteins, like full proteins, some great ways that you can do that is by having like really quality beans. Like I love kidney beans, I love black beans, I love chickpeas. These are all like really great beans to kind of throw things in. You can have lentils. Guys, there's so many things out there that you can use to help to get your numbers up. Now, as far as like various kinds of grains, if you're going to food combine, we talk about food combining and stuff like that. The grains that you want to think about are quinoa, okay, very high in protein. Buckwheat, very high in protein. Amaranth, that's very high in protein. Wild rice, couscous, all of those things, if you combine them up, honey, you mix that stuff with some beans, some tofu, some of that meatless, stuff, the chicken or the ground beef crumbles or whatever you want, you can have a really full hearty meal. Throw in some vegetables in there and boom, you've got a complete meal packed with some protein that's gonna get you up there, you guys. So as you can see, what I wanted to say for this section of our class today is that it is possible to make all of this stuff work for you. You are only limited by what you know, and you're only limited by what you don't know. So get out there, do the research, get into the grocery aisles, read labels, and just educate yourself as to what's out there so you can make sure you're putting yourself in the place to win. So now that we've talked about sources of protein, the types of protein that you want to have, I want to talk about fats because they can play a role in them as well and add some good, negligible amounts of protein. Again, the reason why I'm stressing protein today is because this is the macro that a lot of you guys are struggling to meet as vegetarians and vegans, okay? And I just want to make it easier for you. You can eat carbs till the cows come home, and you can even have the fats up really easy, but if the protein is low, you know that it's not going to work. So when it comes to fats, the kinds of fats that I want you to use in your diet, I want you to think about how do they lend to adding more protein to my plan? How do they help out with that? And there's plenty of ways that you can do that. So first of all, make sure you're choosing healthy fats. That's number one. And some great examples come from like avocados, which are great, peanuts, almonds, cashews, any of the nut butters that are made from that. If you use these sources and you add them into your diet, not only will they help to get that fat, the healthy fat requirement up, but they'll also help to look at adding to the protein. So for you as a vegetarian or a vegan, always read your labels, track your foods, learn what food combining will work to get your numbers up, and eat a whole diet. Guys, it's literally that freaking simple. I write vegetarian vegan plans all the time. I've even done low carb ones, honey. Okay, and you can do this. So I'm telling you the stuff that I do. I'm telling you the stuff that I do that really, truly help, okay? Remember to post your questions in the comments if you have any. I'll be sure to get them at the end. Listen, if you've been watching this video up to this point right now and you're not subscribed to my channel, I need you to subscribe right now or just leave, okay? Subscribe, please. Subscribe. And make sure you click the bell notifications. If you are already subscribed, click the bell, because if you don't, then you'll miss some of my videos and stuff like that, because YouTube only serves stuff now to people when they want to get notifications. So make sure that you guys do that and give me a thumbs up, okay? So now that we talked about finding your calories, now that we talked about finding your macros, now that we talked about how to choose the proper proteins and fats for your diet, I want to switch to the next important part for you guys out there who are vegans and vegetarians, and that is supplements. Supplements. So I think that supplements are a very important part of the equation for you guys particularly. I'm not big on supplements. I don't believe in, too many people rely on supplements as though they're like this magic holy grail thing. And I'm just like, they're supplements, darling. They're supposed to fill in the holes for what's missing on your plan. With vegetarians and vegans, I feel like, especially when they start trying to put meal plans together, or they're working with coaches who don't know what the hell they're doing, they will often have you like using protein powders and all that other stuff, which I forgot to mention, by the way. Let me go back one. There are lots of brands of protein powders and stuff out there. And I'll put this a little bit later, but protein powder, I didn't mention it earlier, can definitely be used in this equation. But what I find is that a lot of folks start relying on protein powders in order to get to their numbers. And it's like, don't do that. Don't do that. Let it be something that helps you fill it in. Or if you know that you have a training day ahead of you, you can have it post-workout, whatever. Use it the same way that you would, if you were following your meat-based diet. But don't let it be the backbone to how you're getting all of your protein in for the day, okay? Be a lot more cognizant of how you're eating and eat whole foods, all right? So having a good protein powder in general, let's talk about switching to supplements now. And since we're already on the topic, having a good protein powder is always helpful, all right? And with so many on the market, you guys, you have such a library, a whole like plethora of things at your fingertips. You don't have to rely on whey protein or casein or anything like that, egg protein, all the ones that they have out there. They now have pea-based protein powders. And actually, These pea-based protein powders are great because they don't have the milk, they don't have the eggs in them. And the pea protein actually, I believe, has a higher bioavailability than soy protein. So that means that when you ingest it and you take it in, your body can actually process it a lot better and more effectively, more efficiently than it does with soy protein. So read your labels and get to know what's out there, you know? And when you are finding that you're tracking your foods and you're eating whole foods, but you're still coming up short, this is where your protein powders can come in. Having 1 or 2 extra scoops a day can sometimes make a world of difference. Now, the next thing, we talked about the protein powder. The next thing that I want to try to focus on when it comes to supplements is omega-3 fatty acids, omega-3 fatty acids. And I really think that fatty acids, omega-3s, need to be in everybody's diet. Anyone who's ever gotten a meal plan from me knows that I'm like all about the fish oil, okay? Because it has so many benefits, so many that I can't even list here. You can go on Google, look it up, benefits of fish oil. All right. And I really think that they should be a part of your diet as well, even though you are a vegetarian or vegan. Now, if you're a pescatarian, no problem. You can have regular fish oil, and that's cool in the game. But of course, for those of you that are, that are not pescatarian, you don't want to eat that. But guess what? There are other brands out there. There are algae based. There's like krill and there's algae. And algae is really great for those of you who don't want to take any kind of fish or anything. Now, the thing about those supplements specifically, because fish oil that comes from actual fish has a higher amount of, the DPA and the EPA, DHA and the EPA. It has a higher amounts of that in it than, let's say, the algae pills. You'd have to take a little bit more. But keeping that in your diet is really super duper duper important. So make sure that even though you are following this plan, that you're getting a couple of caps in there per day. All right. The next supplement for those of you that are vegan and vegetarian, that's really super important. And I am so adamant about this next supplement because I know what it's like to live my life in a deficit of it and how debilitating it can be on your body and everything. And that is iron. Because you're not eating meat, you're going to be missing out on a lot of iron. And yes, there are vegetables and stuff like that that are high in iron, but you're probably not going to be getting as much as you need, particularly as a woman who lifts. You're constantly tearing down tissue, and your body needs to repair and restore. And if you're still menstruating, you're bleeding every month, and therefore you're losing iron again. So your levels can really start to deplete pretty fast. So my suggestion for you is to take a good iron supplement. And for that, I love elemental iron ferrous sulfate. This is researched to be the best, most bioavailable type of iron that you can take. So make sure you do ferrous sulfate, FERROUS sulfate, elemental iron. They come in little 65 milligram, capsules. You can buy them in any health food store. And when you take your iron pills, you can take one a day. Take it with food, because if you take it without, you're going to get sick. It has a horrible aftertaste and it makes your stomach really upset. But take one, and when you take one, take about 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, because they work synergistically, so the body can take them up and use them in the way that it needs to. 1 cap of that a day of the 65 milligrams of elemental iron plus 1,000 milligrams of the vitamin C is enough for most people. If you feel like you're a little bit fatigued, or if you have a history of having anemia, then you might want to bump that up to like 2 of those doses per day taken with a meal. All right. I can't stress for you enough how important that is to take. Oh, and the other thing, you guys, about iron, make sure that when you do take your iron pills, that you do not take them at the same time that you're taking caffeine. So if you drink coffee and stuff like that, you want a 2-hour buffer point between the time you've ingested that caffeine to the time you're taking that iron, because they'll kind of cancel each other out. Well, not cancel each other out. Caffeine blunts the body's ability to uptake iron. So you want to make sure that you don't take it around the same time. Okay, so vitamin C with your iron, always 1,000 milligrams. Don't take it when you have coffee or any kind of caffeine. All right. The next supplement that I want you to think about as a vegan or vegetarian is that you want to consider taking in a good B vitamin supplement or super B complex. Okay, very, very important. And most notably for you out there, vegan, vegetarian folks, all right, you definitely want to make sure you're getting vitamin B12 specifically. If you take a good like super B complex, it's usually going to be in there with a couple of other things which just help your body. I love a super B complex, but B12 specifically because again, this has an effect on iron in the body and how it's uptaken and how the body processes it. So you want to make sure that that is in there, all right? So a B12 vitamin or just a super B complex once or twice a day should cover your bases with that. All right. Now, we talked about a specific amino acid earlier today that I mentioned that when you follow a vegetarian or vegan diet that you're likely going to be deficient in, and it's not good to be deficient in, and that's leucine. All right. Now, one of the things that I like to do is to have my vegan and vegetarian clients take BCAA powder. Now, here's the thing about BCAA. For most of you that are not on a plant-based diet, like you take BCAA, it's kind of like, excuse my French because I just don't like to cuss very much anymore, but it's you're basically pissing your money away. Like seriously, you really are. But like for those of you who are missing meat in your diet, I mean, it's really super, super helpful for you actually. So you want to take a good BCAA powder. And you'll find that this is really good, especially like, you know, in the area of recovery post-workout, and just being able to have enough amino acids within the body, the building blocks of muscle available in the body to what? Rebuild new tissue. That's what it's about. That's why you need them. All right. So having a good BCAA powder in your mix is really, really great. All right. And you can take the BCAA powder when you're, you know, post-workout or whatever, maybe a little bit later on in the day with another shake, or just throw it into your water and just throw it down. They have unflavored ones. They have flavored ones. So you can really get that up. You know, maybe about 1 to 2 scoops per day. I would even say, just to round off your basis, about 2 scoops a day for a vegan or vegetarian plan is plenty. You know, so this should help you to cover your bases and to round everything off and make sure that you are fully supported in your efforts to change your body and hold on to muscle or build it, depending on your goals. And the final supplements that I want to round off for you for today, and making sure that you've got a good, well-rounded plan that's covering all your micronutrients, not just your macros, but your micros as well, is you want to make sure that you are also supplementing with calcium, magnesium, vitamin D3, and zinc. Okay, those 4 for, you know, any woman, super duper important in keeping our hormones regulated, our bones strong, and just making sure we supply the body with the nutrients it needs to keep us running optimally. All right, you guys. Now, guess what? That is all I have to share with you today. I know I told you guys this was going to be a lot. What I want you to do is go back and listen. I want you to go back and watch this again. I want you to go ahead, post your questions in the comments if you happen to be watching the replay, so I can go over some of these things with you if you feel like, you have further questions. Because here's the thing, guys, and I'm going to go ahead and switch this out over here for you. Let's see, transition this. So here's the thing, you guys, that I really want you to keep in mind in this whole process. And that is that you have the power to really tweak your diet as you want. You have the power to really hone into your nutrition in a way to bring about the changes that you want. But it just takes you finding what works for you, putting it in action, seeing how your body responds, and then making tweaks from there. That is literally what I do as a coach. There's no magic formula. I find out how many calories do you want to eat based off of what your goals are. Okay, let's set up a nice caloric, macro approach that's going to work with those calories. Now, of course, the way that I do things is a lot more advanced than what I'm telling you to do here. But if you were a client of mine, I'd teach you how to do that. And so that's why you want to get on a call with me, so that way I can teach you how. But then after you go ahead and put your meal plan in place, see what happens. If the body responds, you lose weight, you feel great, leave it alone. Keep on sailing on that until you have to change it. If your body doesn't do anything, make some little tweaks. Lower calories a little bit. Change your macros up a little bit. Just a little bit. You don't need a whole bunch. Increase your activity level. See how your body responds. If it starts responding, boom, keep going from there. Make another tweak if it doesn't respond. And if you get to the point where you don't know what, like, look here, Roxy, this isn't working, then come to Roxy. Come to Roxy. Guys, I'm here to help you out, okay? So let me go over here to see if we have any questions in the question box over here. Okay, let's see. Oh, wow. Alyssa says, I am free 2019 says, hey, I wanted to start off with that. Hey. What's going on there? We have Alyssa Chanel said, oh, wow, I didn't know that. Why are BCAAs waste for non-vegan vegetarians? And Alyssa also asked, would you recommend supplementing glutamine? Well, because the fact of the matter is that, like, for most people who are vegan and who are not vegan or vegetarian, who are meat eaters, you're getting plenty of amino acids in your diet already. And the supplement companies are not there to really help you to do anything. They're there to sell you products, to be quite frank. And when you look at the protein requirements per day with what the average adult needs to be able to maintain their goals or to just, change their body, really the protein requirement is actually about 1 times your body weight. If you really want to get kind of freaked out, here's the RDA. The RDA says that this is for like just a regular sedentary adult who's not really working out though. 0.8 times your body weight in kilograms. For some of you, that's going to be like 60 grams of protein a day, and you're going to be like, oh my God, come on. But scientifically speaking, your body actually, for those of us that train and work out, we need more. So roughly about, if you were to say 1.2 times your body weight in kilograms will give you a little bit closer to the number that you would need if you follow the RDA for active individuals. And that totals to about 1 times your body weight in grams and pounds. So we actually don't need that much. You're eating about that much. So if you just put more BCAA powder in there, you're kind of just, again, you're peeing your money away. You're peeing it away, okay? You're wasting money. So you could actually put that money into actually buying quality food versus supplements. We don't use any of this stuff. Except for my vegan and vegetarians, I'll tell them to put this stuff in. But my clients, if they want to use BCAA powder, fine, use it. I don't care. But I'm just going to tell you what, you actually may not need it. Put it towards something else. Now, for glutamine, yeah, you can definitely go ahead and add some glutamine to the diet. I think that is a useful supplement for a lot of folks, especially if you tend to train a lot. So, glutamine is a really important amino acid for recovery and helping the body to, repair tissue and stuff. So definitely, whether you're a meat eater or you're not, it's useful. It is useful. And the more you train, the more you want to go ahead and have all of your bases covered once again. Okay, you guys. So I truly do hope that today has helped you out. And I truly hope that I was able to just add some value to you. I'm going to bring my camera back here. I hope it doesn't get choppy, because sometimes it gets a little choppy. And if it is, then I'm going to stop the camera because it drives me absolutely nuts. But I want to thank you so much for joining me. And for those of you that are looking for coaching, let me go ahead and bring this up for you. Let's see, where is it? I want you to see this one screen right here that has the link to where you can get the clarity call with me. So if you're watching this right now and you feel like, what I have to share with you is helpful, that it's fruitful and all that stuff, I want you to join me. I want you to go ahead and join me on a clarity call. And this call, you guys, is really, it's only like 30 minutes of your time, all right? And during this call, are we good? Yeah, I've got it here. Sorry. During this call, I want to talk about your goals. I want to talk about what it is that you're looking to achieve. I want to talk about what's been holding you back. I want to talk about like what it is that you feel like you need my help with. And let's go ahead and see if I have a solution for you. Now, I do not take everybody on. The one thing I can't stand are wishy-washy people. I can't stand people who are non-committal. I can't stand people who are not serious about their goals, and I can't stand people who are not ready to invest in themselves, okay? I only work with the most serious clients because I put a lot. If you guys think this is the free stuff that I give, holy crap, imagine the paid stuff that my clients actually get from me. And the fact that they are actually talking to me, you know? So it's a lot of investment in me, in you. And so my coaching approach is not like anything that's out there from other coaches right now. And that's because what I offer is from my heart. It's from my heart, my blood, my sweat, my tears, everything that I want to bring to enhance your life. Like, that's what it's about. When you leave me, I want you to say, I learned something from Roxy. I learned how to not only get to my goal, but I have the tools to stay there. So you guys, this opportunity is really for those of you out there who are ready to do the work. All right. And I have different programs for different budgets. I have a program that starts around $97 a month. I have a program that goes all the way up to way more than that, 7 times that. But it depends on, what it is that you need. And so I just want to talk to you for free. rockstarfitness.com/call. Get on a call with me. Let's see what we can do. Okay. Once again, ladies, thank you so much for joining me on today's video. The replay will be up instantly. Make sure that you subscribe right now. And if you have not clicked that bell notification yet, honey, you better do it. Otherwise, you're going to miss the next class. The next class is going to be popping too. All right. And all the videos that I have planned for this week too. Oh my God, they're going to be so good. And if you haven't pressed the thumbs up button yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. Please press the thumbs up. Don't press the thumbs up, please, so that YouTube sends this to the people that need to see it. All right. You don't even have to spend no money, and you can still help Roxy out and spread the word about what we're doing on this channel. Let's grow this baby. All right. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me. I really, really, truly appreciate y'all. And now it is time for Roxy to sign out. So Roxy, over and out. Peace.